What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Trading Crypto live stream. We are changing this up a little bit. We had some technical difficulties getting the podcast up and running, but that's what happens. You know, you hit some difficulties. We'll figure it out eventually, and we'll get that bad boy rolling again, possibly this weekend with WenSnowman from the Discord. So right now, we're just gonna be going over some charts. Then we're just gonna go over charts for about an hour, maybe a little bit more. Look at some altcoins, whatnot like that. Sorry if you were excited about the podcast. We'll get to it eventually. But we're just gonna be looking at some charts today. Desktop audio is extremely loud. Give me a 1 2 1 2 if you can hear me. BTC still not doing I actually have a long in on BTC, believe it or not. BTC on the day charts is looking way too good not to long in my personal opinion. Okay, where we at? Hey boys, sorry I'm late. Flood control for customer. Yeah, we're not doing the podcast tonight. We had some technical difficulties, so we're just gonna be going over some charts today. We're gonna be figuring out how to do that podcast. You know, first time we don't really know what we're doing, but I think that might be something that we might bring to the channel more often, is doing podcasts and having people in the Discord talk. That way I'm not just, you know, talking all the time and flapping my gums. We can get some other people up on here. We're to be looking at some stuff. So I actually have a long in on BTC. BTC on the day charts is looking way too good in my personal opinion. You know, we're losing our bearish momentum quite quickly here on the day chart. We have the RSI, which is starting to round up here on the day chart. We are deep in the green. We have not printed a buy signal yet. The last time we were this deep was in January 24th of 2022. That's crazy. January 2022 is the last time we were this low on the WTX. So for BTC, let me actually pull up my MEXC on my phone and see how my long's doing. Let's see where I got my entry at. So there we go. We go to futures. So I'm doing small. I'm doing small leverage. I'm doing large. Not a super large amount of USDT, but I'm doing small leverage. My average price that I got in at, it was 26,100. So we'll see if that plays out there. I'm currently doing that long. Like I said, BTC on the day chart's looking really good. We draw that life fib. You can see right now on the lifelong fib, not lifelong fib, but from the all-time top to the bottom, we actually are below the 382. I'm really not too concerned about that on the day chart. What I'm more focused on here is the short-term time frame on the fib for BTC, which is from this top to this bottom right here. I think this is the important fib that we need to keep a close eye on for BTC, top to bottom right here. And what we need to keep a close eye on is overtaking the 618. We need to get back over that 618 there. We're not bullish on BTC until we do. If we continue to stay below the 618, next stop will most likely be down to around that $25,000 area for BTC. If we draw the horizontal support area there, you can see the importance of that 25,000. 25,000 back here of August of 2022 was a resistance area. The 25,000 in February 2023 was a resistance area. The 25,000 June 2023 was a support area. So 25,000, if we head down there, I think it's going to show some strong support since we are above that. But Bitcoin, in my personal opinion, isn't bullish until we get over the 618. I do, however, have a long on it. I do think in the short term, however, BTC will rise back up to around that 26.5 area. So that's what I'm keeping a close eye on now. Long up to around 26.5. If we break over the 618, we're good to go. If we get rejected off that 618, then I'd be keeping an eye on 25,000 for BTC right down here, and then we'll reassess the situation. So BTC on the day chart, like I said, is looking good with all the indicators. Short-term time frame for BTC, 4-hour time frame is, wow, 4-hour time frame is looking really good. 4-hour time frame, we got that buy signal on the WTX already. The MAC or the RSI, this is the lowest the RSI has been since, geez, we're gonna have to zoom way back. Draw a horizontal line here, and let's just zoom back and see when the last time it was this low. Holy crap, has it ever been this low? We got really close back here in March of 2020. We got close here in November 2019. This might be the lowest the RSI has ever been on the 4-hour. How crazy is that? We just made history. We just made history. We actually got all the way down to three on the RSI. So that's the lowest the RSI has ever been on BTC on the 4-hour chart. That's absolutely insane. That's probably the lowest the WTX has ever been too. We actually went outside the green. I think I mentioned that in my last live stream. I don't think I've ever seen the WTX go below the green area right there and flash a buy signal. Let's just zoom over, see what's happening there. Yeah, it doesn't look like we've ever, ooh, we briefly got below it in 2019, but man, we were making history here. We were making history, and people think we're gonna be shitting the bed from here, man. I don't think we can fall much lower than we already are. We're already making history. So that's nuts. That's absolutely insane there on the short-term time frame. Okay, then we got, what is it, this fib? Yeah, then this fib right here, this is the yearly fib. So this is another important fib to keep a close eye on. This is the 2023 fib, you know, from the end of December, beginning of January, that initial run up. This year, if we just go by this year alone off the indicator, we are still bullish. We're above the 618 on the yearly fib. So I would say that's bullish. For 2023, we have not broken below the 618. So, but that 618 here on the yearly fib is around that $24,000 to $25,000 area that we talked about a little bit earlier. That powerful support area around the $25,000. So chances of us going down to 25, you know, the indicators say it's very likely. It's very likely. Yes, I do have a long, but my liquidation's so low that I'm just going to let the bad boy ride out if we end up going to 25. So really not a whole lot going on there. I think we talked about the 3-day BBWP last live stream. Let's just toss that bad boy on here too and see what's going on with the BBWP. Yeah, I think it was actually on the weekly. Maybe we were printing massive blue signals, but we got a double blue signal right here, and that's when we usually ran. We're starting to curve back up as well. We got our last time we got a blue signal was back here on July of 2020, and that's before we had the initial blow off. We had this initial run up right here. The last time we got a blue bar. A lot of people that I see on that I'm seeing on Twitter, I don't know if I just follow a bunch of moon boys and stuff like that, but a lot of people are pointing this out to me, and I'm kind of seeing it now too. A lot of people think that we're actually in here, that we're in this final dump phase before we capitulate to the upside. Not capitulate, but before we run to the upside. But if we actually copy and paste, let's see, we copy and paste this and we hang it over here, you know, it's not crazy. I mean, we can kind of see the resemblance there compared to back there. So a lot of people are thinking we might be in that general area right here, this last big capitulation, the last flush out before we start going parabolic. And I mean, there's a lot of bullish indicators flashing on BTC. We've gone over numerous times. Yes, no crazy winds yet. Oh yeah, you're in Cali, aren't you? Did you get hit by that earthquake, Grizz? I thought I heard there was a 5.5 earthquake in California, or that might have been some FUD. The main thing I don't want to see, and it's happening right now, but this is the main thing I don't want to see, but we still have 11 days for this to grow, is I do not want the monthly MACD to have a lower high here. It's really never happened before once we crossed over from, you know, dark red to light red to green, except for the COVID drop right here. That was the black swan. You can see we went dark red, light red, green, ran up. Happened prior to that too. So we have 11 days for this candle to overtake the previous one, but it's kind of looking promising like it is. I mean, if you look at the BBWP is about ready to cross over, so that's bullish right there. RSI sitting neutral. I think another big one that we want to keep a close eye on that I haven't brought up is the guppy, if I can remember where that's at. Not Gaussian channel, not the G. It's called the guppy, I thought. Where is it at? It's not Bollinger Band. It's not bad. Man, I haven't used it in so long that I forgot what it was called. GMMAS. Yeah, this is it as GMMA. This actually, every time we've crossed over from red to green, it's initiated a parabolic rally. that's kind of what I'm waiting for. Here's the GMMA to cross over on the monthly. You can see where we're heading up for it. Obviously, we just had a little fake out there, so keeping an eye on the GMMA. The monthly hasn't crossed over. The 3-week it has. So the 3-week we already have crossed over green. See, last time that happened, October 2015 was October 2015 was right here. You can see what happened after that. We crossed over red to green. We ran here. Obviously, we crossed over red to green. We started running, and then we had the black swan. If we didn't have COVID, I think that would have ran. And I think the BTC high probably would have been higher if we didn't have that retracement. So far, every time we've crossed over from red to green, we've pretty much ran. It's, you know, the 3-week. And we actually crossed over on March 23rd here. So crossed over March 23rd. That's right when the MACD crossed over from red to green as well. So we'll keep a close eye on that. It is what it is. I think we're very, very close. We're very, very close to this, to this exciting part of crypto. We've been waiting for so long, man. Believe it or not, I made my channel at the top. I actually made my channel in December. I think it was like 3 days before Christmas, 2021. Where's that? That's like right here. Yeah, so I pretty much made my channel at the top. So my YouTube channel has only experienced bear markets, and you guys have been around for the ride. So I'm pretty excited to see what happens during a bull run. At 5.0, first tropical storm on the West Coast in 84 years. That's insane. Well, stay safe, my friend. Jeez. So anyone have any coins they want me to look at? I haven't even really looked at crypto today. Let's see how the market's doing. So BTC 24 hours, we're up 0.2. Wow, out of the top 100, the big mover is Stellar with 4.8%. How are my altcoins doing? Let's look at Aleph Zero, see how that's doing. Aleph Zero's down 7%. How's my Doge chain doing? My Doge chain is down 2%. How's my Bonk doing? Yo, finally a coin in the green. My Solana, I'm still way up on my Solana because we bought Solana here at what I bought at 13, then I bought another big one at $8. So this actually held up so well. This held up so well during the big capitulation Solana did. I actually want to take a look at Solana. Yeah, screw it, we'll do Coinbase. Like we had that big drop on BTC, and what happened to Solana? We just bounced off the 382, and then after that, we're good to go. We didn't see a hard crash. Blow this up here. What am I missing? I'm missing my WTX. Yeah, Solana here on the day chart, man. RSI is definitely in a downtrend here. We've been bearish for quite a while. We actually been bearish since July of 2023. Had a fake out here, but it looks like we're losing our bearish momentum once again, especially with that bounce off the 382. We didn't even hard candle to it. We actually just wicked right to it. So that's pretty bullish. I'd be keeping an eye on Solana for the next stop is around 22.59. And then who knows, we could be heading up to the 618 from there. I mean, I dare you to name a coin more battle tested than Solana. I mean, with the FTX collapse and everything like that, this coin actually survived that. And it just survived the big Bitcoin dump with minimal retracement. I mean, name a coin more battle tested than Solana. And even if we do this uptrend fib right here, we're actually only on the 0.5. We got a nice bounce off the 0.5. So yeah, I would expect to move up to at least 22, what is that, $22 to $23 for Solana here in the short term. So from where we're currently at to the upside, that's about 5.3%. Indicators definitely have room to run, validates that. Main price volume's down here, however, but I'm really not too concerned about that here on the day chart. 4-hour time frame for Solana. I mean, we're pretty reset here. We got that buy signal. We got deep in the green here on the RSI. MACD's bullish, but showing some indecisiveness here, starting to cool down. But I still think that move up to the 618 might be the next stop at around 23 bucks for Solana. Injective. Wow, look at this volume cloud. This is what you're hoping for this coin. For injective, you want injective to enter up here on the upside. If you enter that negative price volume cloud, you're gonna absolutely rip ass to the upside. Hang on 1 second. We might actually have the podcast working here. Maybe not. Okay, so we're looking at injective here. Oh, hang on. Okay, so let's look at injective real quick. I'm sorry, I'm getting kind of sidetracked here, trying to do too many things at once. Okay. So injective. Injective top to the bottom right here. We actually since the June run up right here, we wicked down to the 382, briefly broke above the 618 right here. Currently retracing. Probably keeping a close eye on that 786 area. Not the 786. I mean this main price volume area at around 765. 765. We did fall through this negative price volume cloud. However, the indicators are pretty high and they're starting to retrace fast. So WenSnowman is ready. Yeah, he said he's ready. He said he'll be ready in about 10 minutes. So maybe in about 10 minutes, we'll plop the Discord on the screen and see what he has to say. So we got a little bit of TA in beforehand, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, so top to bottom right here for injective here on the short-term time frame as well. We broke below the 786. I'd probably keep it on that 618. So that still validates that 165 to $7.55 area. So I would be, yeah, I think this would be the play here for injective. Allow these indicators to cool down. On the 4-hour time frame, we just crossed over bearish. RSI is pretty high, starting to roll over pretty quickly. We have the WTX, which is pretty high as well, starting to deviate to the downside. So that's kind of what I'm seeing for injective. Most likely a retracement for INJ. Then we have another request here, which is Moonvale and GIME. Did you cut the podcast off? I heard you, but now I can't. Hang on 1 sec. Okay, so we're looking at Moonvale now. MONAVL. Okay, so this is available on Coinbase. Oh man, that's nasty. That is oh, we used to, looks like we did a TA on this a while back. And this thing's about ready to put in a new low, it looks like. Mona. All-time low. Oh, all-time low was a year ago at 123. All-time high was 2 years ago. Wow, this thing went up to 2,843 last bull run. That's why. Small circulating supply, only a $3 million market cap. Is this the right coin? Yeah, this is the right coin. Holy crap. Yeah, this thing could definitely pump again. Small circulating supply, small market cap can be easily pumped, similar to time. So yeah, this is kind of a high risk, high reward. I don't know what this coin does, but definitely with a small circulating supply. As of right now, we're kind of in uncharted territory on the Coinbase chart. We're kind of in uncharted territory, so we have to do a fib retracement, which means relying on the indicators. Indicators right now, we're losing our bearish momentum here on the MACD. We're heading towards a bullish crossover. We have the RSI, which look how long we pretty much can consolidate sideways. We have since March 2023 been the same price, even all the way back to here. The RSI hasn't really moved much. It's pretty much just been stagnant. That's pretty much due to the low volume and low market cap, low circulating supply. Not a whole lot of people are buying it right now. I mean, this actually came out July 2022 on Coinbase. This chart did, so we don't have the prior data. So it pretty much came out, you know, after the top of the bull run, which explains why this chart's just in a downtrend right now. But short-term time frame, we're about ready to flip bullish on the MACD. RSI sitting at a good level, normal level where it bounces, you know, just hovering around that 50. WTX is low, so if anything, short-term time frame, I'd be expecting a retracement either back up to the 786 around 329 or the 618 to complete this downtrend top, because right now it does look like, oh no, maybe not. So yeah, there's two different scenarios going on. Either we're to get rejected here and shit the bed, or we're already breaking out up to at least the 618. What does this thing normally do when it pumps? So we pump, chop, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump. Yeah. So who knows? There might be a better opportunity to pick this coin up cheaper a little bit later, but I do think in the bull run, this coin probably will return some good, you'll probably get some good returns on this coin. But it's just a little too risky for me. I already have my play. So short term right now, I'd be just keeping an eye on this downtrend right now. If we hit this resistance, it's probably just going to bleed out and make another low. I don't think this coin actually gets bullish until the bull run's in full swing. So might just be a DCA coin. I don't know if I got into poison ivy or what. I was out in my woods limbing a tree to put my tree stand in this year for deer hunting, and I came back and the back of my leg is so effing itchy. I took a hot bath, I rubbed salt on it and everything like that, but man. Yeah, and this coin's on Coinbase too, so that's another bullish signal. Can you get some likes on the stream, please? Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Please smash that like button. It helps my YouTube grow, which should be pretty cool. So we got Mona. Only has 10K supply. I wonder how low it can go. Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, the next stop for Mona would be 261. I'd say at the 1236. But I think longer term, once the bull run comes in, you'll be fine. GIME, never heard of that. GIME. Digi Metaverse. Last updated August 10th, 2023. Yeah, I don't know what GIME is. Obviously, I mean, it doesn't look like I can find it on CoinMarket or CoinGecko. And I can't find it here. Oh, I see. And time. Whoops, that's what you meant. Time pretty much hasn't been doing anything. I do hold time. I have been keeping a close eye on time. Pretty much the main thing is we can't fall below this. Oh shit. We can't fall below this downtrend support area. It's very, very unfortunate that we did break below that 1650-ish. 16, what is that? 16. Yeah, 1650 area. That was a very, very, very critical support area for time. So now the only hopium that we have to staying alive is this downtrend support area. Now I do hold this coin, and I am going to hold it for the cycle, regardless of how low it goes. I'm not looking to pick any more up. I have an okay size bag of it. Obviously, I bought it around this wave 4 bottom because I saw this wave 4 bottom and I thought that's where it was going to start running. Obviously, it didn't do that. It fell below. But as long as we don't fall below this downtrend right here, same scenario, we just move it down like this. It's still a bullish megaphone. If we break out below something like that, if we break out of this downtrend, then I would tuck your tails between your legs, because then it could just get nasty. But inevitably, same thing as Mona here for time. We have the small market cap. We have the small circulating supply. Look at the circulating supply. Wow, the circulating supply, did that drop? Oh, that's Wonderland. Whoops. Okay, circulating supply is only 710,000, only has a $10 million market cap. This is also listed on Coinbase as well. So one of the large exchanges. So pretty much the large exchanges, if you're new to crypto, once the bull run starts taking off in full swing, a lot of the retail investors won't know how to use like Mexi or KuCoin or those exchanges. They'll flock to the main ones. They'll flock to Binance. They'll flock to Coinbase. They'll flock to crypto.com, and they'll buy the coins on there. So rule of thumb is if you find some good coins that are on Mexi and several other exchanges, if they're listed on Coinbase, that's just an added bonus, because that's most likely going to be the exchange that a lot of retail investors flock to once the bull run starts getting super hyped up. Yo, Will in the house. Long time no see. Yeah, so we're gonna try to get Mr. Andy Walk on the stream here in a little bit. He's just finishing some stuff up, and I think we actually got it figured out. So we're just looking at some crypto for now. Oh, 1 is a lot, 2 is almost a gain. I agree with you. I only have 1 right now, and man, but he's 2 years old, so. He's crazy. He's just go. So yeah, we went over Bitcoin. Another thing that we're keeping a close eye on too is I feel like Ethereum is about ready to make a huge move, like a huge move. Like if we just zoom out to the weekly, remove the drawings here, and we toss on the, I have to delete one of these, hang on. And then we toss on the BBWP. Like, look at this. This is just printing blue bars here on the BBWP. It's gonna be massive. There's gonna be something big happening for Ethereum. I mean, look how many you print here on the weekly. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 blue bars in a row on the BBWP on the weekly. So we printed 1 blue bar, 1 blue bar back here, December 2021. Obviously we dropped, but then we ran after that. We printed a blue bar right here. We ran up like that. Now we printed 13 bars and we just went sideways. So what a blue bar technically is saying is, hey, there's a reversal about ready to happen. So we'll have to see what's happening there. But man, I've never seen a chart with this many blue bars printed. Can you analyze, please, Octa Space on CoinEx? They actually do have poison ivy. Octaspace down 12.7%, 51 cents, $10 million market cap, 20 million coins in circulation. Max supply of coins is only 48 million, so almost half the coins are in circulation. All-time high in this coin was 13 days ago, so it hit an all-time high 13 days ago at 84 cents. It's down pretty much 40% from that all-time high. All-time low was 5 months ago at 12 cents. We're currently up 325% from the all-time low. It looks like this coin is currently available on, yeah, CoinEx, Safe Trade, and never even heard of TXBit. I've never even heard of Safe Trade either. He calls me shorty, I'm not sure. Mini chef. We're gonna go with the day. Hey, great part about this is we have not put in a lower low yet. But bad part is since it's so new, we really don't have a whole lot of data to go off of, but at least it wasn't a pump and dump right off the rip. Okay, 4-hour chart here. 4-hour chart, we did not put in a lower low. We got pretty close, but we didn't do it. So that's bullish right off the start. If we do the lifelong fib here, top to the bottom, what we're seeing is the support here at the 618. Yeah, definitely support here at the 618. So 618 is our lifeline. We have to keep a close eye on 40, looks like 46 cents. You do not want to fall below 46 cents. To do that, you're going to have a bad time. MACD here is about ready to flip bearish on the 4-hour chart. As you can see here, we're losing our bullish momentum. RSI starting to deviate down. Same with the WTX. The WTX is getting rejected off that 0 area. So for Octa, hopefully this isn't the top here and we're starting to roll over. We haven't verified anything yet. I mean, with this wick, could this have been a scam wick and put in that low? Yes, it could have. And if that was the case, we draw a horizontal line here, we still didn't put in a lower low compared to this. So what we need to do here is actually put in a higher high. If this comes in and puts in a lower high, say we come up here, hit the 786 or come a little bit higher and then start rolling over, and it's putting in a lower high and this thing's about ready to roll over. You know, we had a nice run since June. Now, I don't know the utility behind this coin or anything like that, but in the short term right now, what I think we're going to be doing is probably heading down here to test that 618 out. Short term, I think we're heading to around 46 cents. So from where we're currently at, that's approximately a 9%, 9.8 to 10% drop from where we're at. And then once we get there, we'll just have to keep a close eye on that support. I mean, that 618 definitely has to hold. I mean, we could just be chopping around, but if the 618 breaks here, you look at the main price volume, you have a thick support there at the 618, especially on the main price volume. But once you break below that 618 right there, you can see what kind of happens. This cloud kind of dies off rather quickly, which means there's not a lot of volume to hold you up right there. And once you start getting into that negative price volume area, it sucks you in like a black hole. So you want to keep an eye on the 618. That's where we're headed next, in my personal opinion. And then if we break below that, it's gonna be bad. If we break below that, the next stop will be 37 cents. But right now, I just think we need to cool down a little bit. We've had a really large run. We do not want to be, what am I trying to say? We do not want to run out of our moon juice. We do not want to force ourselves to run higher. Otherwise, we're to burn out of our energy and then crash. Okay, so WenSnowman says he's ready. If we go to general, let me pull this bad boy up. Let's see if you can share the screen. Hang on, I have to put my headphones in. Give me a minute, guys. We're going to get this podcast up and rolling, hopefully. Let me just get this set up. This is the first time doing it, so obviously there's gonna be some glitches and technical difficulties, but the more we do this, the more it will get efficient. So let me get my headphones in. Hang on one sec. Headphones. Close that. Snowman's ready. Okay, so hang on, I am live right now, so I'm actually gonna pull. Are you sharing your screen?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can everyone else hear? Yeah, I'm gonna see if the live stream people can hear.
I had to do it through my truck radio. I couldn't do it through my headset. Headset wouldn't connect to my tablet for whatever reason.
Okay. Yeah, so if you, oh sweet, I can hear you on the live stream, so we're good. So we're gonna pull you up on the live stream if you want to start sharing your screen. Let's pop out.
I should be sharing, right?
To watch stream. Boom. There you are. You're live. Let's hang it. Let's see. Hang on. Let me see what the live stream looks like.
Yeah, just tell me when you're ready.
I think we're good.
All right, you ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so this is the stuff. If at any time you have a question, or if you can't hear me or something, just holler at me.
Okay. I have the live stream chat pulled up too, so I'll see what they say. They said your volume's low, but I turned it up on my end.
All right, I don't know how to change it on my end.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
All right. So obviously everybody knows with charts, you can look at it at different time frames, you know, minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, blah, 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 1 day, 1 week, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Adam? All right, so with your charts, you'll see the same patterns within, say, a monthly chart if an asset's been trading, say, for 20 years, and then you can see those same patterns in, say, newer assets like digital assets for, let's just say, like Solana has only been trading since, what, 2020, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that.
But on the smaller time, on the smaller time frames for, like, say, even Solana, you can go through and you can find that all assets trade literally using the same patterns. It's hard for us to see, but what I've learned is, I know you see all these blue lines and all this nonsense on my chart, and it doesn't make any sense, but I'll knock out some of that. Knock stuff out. Just to cut down on some of the noise. But anyway, so the longer an asset has traded, I missed one. The longer an asset is traded, the more, obviously, the more data you have. So this is the XRP on the MEXC perpetual futures.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to get off of this, and I'm going to go over here to the XRP. I just use Bitstamp because it has, some people say it doesn't have accurate data on there, but it actually has the longest data of any of them. So I'm going to go over here, and we're going to go to, say, the 1 week chart, and then I'm going to take us back here. Now, notice that I have the RSI pulled up on the bottom also. So can y'all see my cursor right there?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see this cursor right here, and you see this is a crashing structure. And if you pay attention to it, it looks really similar to the same crashing structure that we're experiencing on a smaller level right here. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
See that? So this is the same. So people,
This is on,
this
on XRP?
Yeah, this is on XRP. And okay. I can do it with any chart, but I'm just using this because it has the longest data. It has, it's like Bitcoin. It's got a lot of data if you go to the right chart.
Yeah.
So this is the kicker of it. So if you go on here, I'm on the 1 week time frame right now. If you drop this down to, say, the daily time frame, on these crashing structures, if you pay attention to them, the crashing structures inverted look exactly like the bull structures. Have you ever noticed that?
I have not.
Okay, so this is the point I'm getting at. So this right here was a crashing structure that we were just looking at on the weekly, but now we're on the daily. So I'm going to invert this. Now look at it.
Oh yeah.
So now it looks like you have, of course, it's inverted, but it looks like you have a 5-way structure going up. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just did that on a video with BTC, how everyone thinks it's going down to 10K, then if you flip it over, the thing just looks bullish, like you want to long the shit out of it.
Okay, so, yeah, exactly. So on this, but I'm going to walk you through this really quick. All right, so you see all of these prices back here. See this price where my cursor is? You see the next little trough where this is, and you see this next trough back here?
Yeah.
Okay, these right here are where prices never went back and revisited. Now I'm back on regular scale. So these are what you would consider, some people call it some people talk about CME gaps. I know you've heard about CME gaps. These are not called CME gaps. These are just price inefficiencies. I haven't read anything from anybody on this. I've just literally studied the Fibonacci, I studied the Elliott wave, and I've studied what the chart patterns do. So with all that being said, you see how you got overextended right here. You went up, you never revisited. You just pretty much did just a small bull flag. That right there is a small bull flag. If you notice, you have higher highs and lower lows. That's a small bull flag. Broke out, retested, boom, you had another leg up. All right, so that right there is a completed structure in the upside. So if you reverse this and invert that, now you have the exact same chart, the exact same moment. However, you invert it, and now you're looking at a bear structure. They identically match. The bear structure and the bull structure is identically match. I'm trying not to repeat myself, but the reason why this happens is, so look right down here. You had this trough. I'm going to use an analogy real quick. So this is the analogy. We all have children, or we've all been children, and we've all probably colored in coloring books, right?
Yeah.
So with a coloring book, let's say you give your child a coloring book, and it's the one that has the numbers inside the area that needs to be colored, and it has a color code match with it. So like, let's say it's Charlie Brown and Snoopy sitting on Snoopy's doghouse. So obviously Charlie Brown shirt's going to have yellow. It's going to have black. Snoopy's doghouse, I think, is red with a black roof. So all the black is going to be number 1. All the red's going to be number 2. Yellow number 3, so on and so forth, right? Well, in order for that picture to be completed, that child, or if it's an adult, whatever, adults like doing it too. I don't care. I'm not prejudiced against adults coloring, but so if you have an adult, if you have a child that's coloring this coloring book, and you go over there and watch them, when they complete all of those little, color coded numbers, then the picture is complete. But until they do that, realistically, the child shouldn't move over to the next picture. You see what I'm saying? So like complete one and go to the next one. This is speaking in like correct terminology. We all know kids will go through 30 pages and color one color, whatever. But anyway, so I'm using that as an analogy. So this is the same way on when it comes to price structure. So you see right here, you had a major breakout.
Yep.
Price never revisited. You had a correction with a trough. Price went up, but guess what it did? It came back and it filled that inefficiency. See how the price, it just has to touch, but in some cases it'll go below it. But either way, this price inefficiency was covered. So you go to the next trough. Well, price, and it doesn't have to be a candle body close, it can be a wick, but this is the point. So price, not even a wick, ever came back down in this trough. So this never got colored in. We're referring back to the coloring book.
Okay.
Okay, so this right here, okay, so you had a wick that looks like it came down, but it never touched that wick right here in the middle. See that little bitty doji star?
Yep.
Or whatever they call that candle? You never had price to the right of that, touch that. So there's another inefficiency. So right here we have 2 inefficiencies. Actually, we have 3. We have this one back here. So guess what happens? You have a completed 5-wave structure that comes all the way up here, and you have more price inefficiency. So as those price inefficiencies come in, guess what naturally happens? What naturally happens is your price is going to come down and catch all that liquidity, all that liquidity, all that liquidity. See how it comes, how the price is drawn back down to it?
So it comes back down and fills all those colors in, like the coloring book you were talking about, right? Is that what you're getting at?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay, so now look what you're doing on the reverse side. Now you're in a bearish downtrend, but guess what you're doing? You're creating more troughs that need to be colored in. Okay? See these troughs?
Yep.
Okay, so this trough gets colored in by this candle right here. So this one's not an inefficiency, but look right here. You had this trough that was built, but it never revisited anywhere in this downfall. So naturally, as price gets down and it creates enough inefficiencies or enough liquidity that's left behind, naturally you get down here towards the bottom and you're going to find a bottom. Well, once that bottom comes in and you get confirmation, say of this breakout right here, now what is your price going to try and do? It's going to come back in. It's going to fill this trough. It's going to fill this trough. It's going to fill this trough. It fills all these troughs back in, but it doesn't quite make it back up. So it does. It makes it back up to that one too. So all your troughs got colored back in on another 5-leg up. However, this is still a breakdown structure, but it's still, the price will only go so low before it reverses and goes back and picks up liquidity that it left behind, whether you're in a bullish sentiment or a bearish sentiment. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So here's the other kicker. This is the other caveat. So anytime that you have, pay attention to your RSI. Anytime that you have, I hear a lot of people talk about bearish and bullish divergence. It's very important to pay attention to your RSI, because you notice right here, you had a higher high, lower high, but your RSI created a higher high, or at least even. You see how it's even? So even though it's even, that's still bearish divergence, because you have your prices on your upside going higher, but your RSI is staying dead even. You follow me?
Yeah.
That right there is your number 1 factor where people talk about, well, they don't put enough emphasis on it, but that right there is your number 1 factor that this right here was a local high. There's no questions about it. There was no questions back in 2013. Anybody that was trading this, that knew how to trade, knew this right here was going to be your high. So this is where you start getting into, okay, how do I find the wicks that goes down when this bearish structure is over? Or better yet, how do I leverage trade this and confidently know that I am not going to lose a lot of money? Well, let me show you. Take your fib tool Go over here, and this right here is an ABC corrective structure. See it right here?
Yep.
Not all the way down. This right here is an ABC corrective structure. Well, you can't put a fib on, or you can put a fib. Let me put the fib right here. So let me find it again. I just missed it. So if you take this right over here and put it on the top of your ABC on the bottom of your C leg right here. Oh shoot, I messed it up. Sorry guys. Hold on, I'm getting there. I'm doing this with my finger on the tablet. So if you take this right here and you put it on the very tip top of that right there, close enough, whatever. I'm not trying to be perfection here. No, that's not it. That's not the right one. Hold up. I gotta find. I can't drop that down to a lower time frame and go back and find it. Let me try this next one right here in this next draw. All right, so here's that's not the one I'm looking for. Hold on a second, guys. I'm trying to show y'all a better example because this is way early. Let me get back over here closer to. Had all these put on here and then I took them off. Hold on. I know everybody's sitting there like, what the heck is this guy doing?
Oh, it's all good.
I may have to go back, go up a little bit further. All right, here it is. Yeah. So, all right. So now, if you notice right here, you have another breakdown structure right here. See it? So this is actually kind of like what Bitcoin did. It double top, but it made a little bit higher high.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go into your RSI again, look at your RSI. Your higher high, which it wasn't by much, but your RSI was rock bottom compared to what this high back here was. So you were way oversold back here. And then again, really, you had a double bearish divergence right here because you had a higher high with a lower RSI, and then a little bit higher high with even lower RSI. So that right there was your dead giveaway. Hey, this is a bearish structure right here. So I took this fib right here and I put it right on the top of the very tip top right there, and you take it down to your first. What this is this right here, this little move right here. This little move right here is this same move back here flipped upside down. See this right here? This is a bullish structure right here. This right here is what you would consider a smaller bearish structure, but it's literally a 5-wave count just to the reverse side. So what you do is when you get your first top, that's a 5-wave count. If you break it down, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So take your fib and place it at the bottom of that, which is what would be considered an ABC, and take it to your very tip top. So that's what I did right here. I took this, put it right there. Now, if you notice right here, where did I? No, I'm sorry, I put it on this right here. That's your 8. Did I do it right? Hold on. Get beside myself here. Okay, so I'm sorry, I was pointing to the wrong one. So this right here, this whole piece right here is your breakdown, is your first breakdown from your all-time high. So what this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can't see it because I'm not on a smaller time frame. But then you had a kickback with a 6 and I'm sorry, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you had a 6, which is just the 6 and 7 is just an ABC correction. So then from that bottom, you had, how a lot of times you get a double bottom, but the second is a little bit lower than the first one. Well, that's the reason why is because the same reason why you had a lower high and a little bit of a higher high right there. See, it's the same thing, but it's flipped upside down in the bearish form. So you had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, where everybody thought, oh man, this is going to be bullish, so it goes up a little bit. I know it's hard to see with that div in there. Everybody gets bullish, like, oh, it's going up. What it did was an A, B, C correction, and then boom, it drops out at the bottom again. Because this is what you consider the bottom of the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th, and that's your final drop. And the way you can tell this is your final drop is the same way that you could tell where your top was. Remember, go to your RSI, look at your RSI. Yet again, a higher low with a lower price than the RSI. You had a higher price with a lower RSI. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay, so what that didn't mean that was the bottom for this correction. That just meant that was the bottom for this area, because you had different corrections like double zigzags and stuff like that. However, if you're trading, you could have traded off this right here with that little, I think they call them doji stars. I don't know about candles, but that right there was more or less a confirmation of a flipping trend. So that flipping trend comes up, and then it goes on to set another low. Well, you would have known that it was going to set another low if you had set a fib back here, like I just told you, where you had this first ABC. Set your fib. I'm sorry, I keep on the wrong one. Where you had this larger, ABC right here, and the way you'll know it's a larger ABC is you'll have some sideways chop coming in here. Then you'll have that last peak that comes in, and then the bottom starts dropping out in another 5-wave structure. So that's a 5-wave structure. You have another ABC, and then you have a final drop right there. So that right there is your completed ABC after a top. So what you do is you come in right here, put your fib at this peak, which is the bottom of the C, go all the way to your highest high, your previous highest high, which is right up here. Now you want to follow this down to the 1618. The rule on this is 1618 is the minimum price that your breakdown structure is going to hit. Doesn't mean it's going to stop there. It means it's your minimum. So once you have this sort of breakdown structure happening up here, I don't know if you're following me. You still follow me?
Yeah.
When you're having this breakdown structure right here, a lot of people are going to be getting bullish. However, you can see the 5-wave pattern down, the number 6, the number 7 final capitulation. Then you come back up, but you know that you just had this huge run up back here, and you're watching your RSI on top of that, and your RSI is steadily dropping like a rock as you're getting these little bitty moves up. A lot of people like to call these retracements. I don't care what you call them. It's just part of just a bear market breakdown is all it is. However, when you put your fib in the right place, I could have told you, knowing now, I didn't know this then. I'm just learning this stuff just by studying the charts, but I could have told you that this breakdown was going to meet a minimum price of the 1618. Well, look what it did. It came down and met that price. Now, it doesn't mean that has to be the end of it, but the odds of it going to your 2 fib are further, but much lower. If the odds of it going past the 2 fib down here are slim to none. Usually your 1618 or somewhere in between the 1618 and the 2 is the final capitulation for your breakdown. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you this. I'm gonna show you this on several different occasions. So here we go. We got another. This is a little bit smaller, but after this major breakdown happened, there was your bottom right in between the 1618 and the 2. Well, then guess what you had? A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So you had another 5-wave, and you can tell this is an impulsive wave up, and it's completed. Yet again, go to your RSI. What does your RSI tell you? It tells you the story every time. Look right here. Higher high, lower high on RSI. Lower high, higher high on RSI. That right there is telling you the price is going to keep on going down. Follow me so far?
Yeah, it's like a cheat code.
All right, so I know a lot of people use that. So now what you want to do is, now that you've figured out you've got another impulsive move up, so now how do you tell how much lower it's going to go? Well, it's quite simple. After you get your higher high, find your first lowest peak. Guess what you can do? You can take your Fibonacci retracement level. Let's go over here with it so it pulls down on there. So you take your fib level right here, go all the way up to your highest high. Let's see where that 1618 is. Oh wow, look at there. You'd think I was a genius if I had told you that. Shoot. Get all that crap off. All right, look right. Oh, shoot, I can't see my fib. It goes back to the 1618 again. Isn't that a miracle? See what I'm saying?
I do.
Okay, so now, yet again, yeah, you pierce through it, but you got a general idea of where the price is going to go. So now you've got, yet again, another bottom. So guess what comes after the 1618 is hit? Come back, you retrace to it, and you break above it. That's a confirmation that you're getting ready to start into another impulsive move up. Doesn't mean you're going into an impulsive move bull market. It just means that you have another trading opportunity, yet again, because your RSI guess what it's doing? Like clockwork, your RSI down here is telling you it's in the floor. See, it's in the floor right here?
Mm-hmm.
See how your RSI is in the floor? So now you've met your 1618 retracement, and you're in the floor in your RSI. Now, yeah, could it go lower? Yeah, it could. But however, if you paid attention to the bullish divergence right here, look at your prices are almost dead even. But go down here to your RSI. Here's your dead giveaway. You got lower low on RSI, almost dead even price with a higher low on your RSI. So now you know you're getting ready to go into another bullish impulse. So if you traded this, you go back to your 1618, and that's your break point. Shoot. Dadgummit. Trying to get my, so here's another impulse. So that doesn't seem like much, but to a leverage trader, this is a dream if you figure this out, because from here to here, that's a 61% move. Dear God, if you did a 20x or 10x, you know, just $100, that's big money. You know, I mean, it doesn't, but it's literally a cheat code that I'm figuring out in these charts based on these breakdowns of market structure. So you still don't believe me, all right? So if you don't believe me, so now you have your next impulsive move up. It comes back down into another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, goes into a lower low. Let's check our RSI, and let's see what our RSI says. Does it say that we are going to have another impulse? I think it does. So you have a higher low with a higher with a lower. You have a higher low with a higher RSI. Then come over here, and you have a lower high with a higher RSI. It's hard to see, but it's in there. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now you know, yet again, you're still playing with that 1618 area from that previous crashing structure. So with that previous area, so you can see the 168 right here. So once again, once you break above that 1618, you can set another trade. That's a fake out. There was a fake out. It came back down, but you can see this floor is holding right here. And the RSI is telling you the price is going to go up. So you can set another trade right here, and let's see how much this one goes up. This one goes up, and if I'm taking too long, sorry, I'm trying to tell as fast as I can.
Yeah, it's all good.
There's another 77% move. So, you know, if you're a trader that just likes longing, you just had two long opportunities in pretty quick succession right there. You know, this is December 2015, and then January of 2016. You know, so within a month's time, you had two really good opportunities of 60% and 70% move to the upside if you'd just been paying attention on your daily chart. So now you've had two of these impulses up, well, then you start crashing again. So you have to wonder, well, how low does my price go again? So I'm going to take this fib off. I've shown y'all two opportunities of the 1618. It gets a little harder to see in here, but here we go again. Here is your lower low before you start making newer highs. See it? So here's your lower low. So you take your fib, go from your lower low after those impulsive moves. You know, you got to wait till your impulsive moves are over. So go up to there. Now, let's see where if this next crash, let's see if it lines up with the 1618. I did that one in the wrong place. Hold on. Let me find the right place. It lines up. I've gone through here. Maybe I went too low. So here's your first low right here. Sorry, I went to the wrong place. So you had your A, B, C. Okay, see it? So it's an A, B, C with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it always ends with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here's your first breakdown right here. I just missed it. I went too far down. So you take this and go back up here to your high. And now back down, we're going to see what the flow gets to. All right, so this goes a little deeper, but it's still not getting to. So by a long shot, it breaks it. However, it never does go below your 2.0 fib. See it? I mean, you're a 2 fib.
Okay.
And it's really close. However, if you're these lows back here are not your low. These are false bottoms. And the way that you know it's a false bottom is right here. Let me get it so you can see it. So look at how low your RSI is right here. See it right here?
Yeah.
It's right there is where it is. Now follow that over to the right, over to where this low is, and look how it's higher. See it right here?
Oh, yeah.
Way higher. So there's your confirmation at the bottom right there. That's your confirmation at the bottom. All right, so I've shown y'all, what, 3 or 4 examples now? So now let's go over to where we're currently at. That right there is really a scam wick. I don't know what the heck that is. Or maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Just ignore that, whatever that is. All right, so here we are to this price action today. So how do you find the bottom? I just showed you in 3 or 4 examples. So you have your original A, B, where is it? A, B, C right here. Okay, so you have your, now this is on a 1-day time scale. You can break it down and break it down even lower, but going to your higher time frames, it's easier to find your simple A, B, C. And what you want to do is you want to take and look at your fib retracement. You want to go from this. You want to go from this C. Now it's an irregular. It's like it's called an irregular ABC or something, where your C leg isn't as low as your. No, I take that back. I went through wrong. I'm supposed to go your lowest point. So trying to get ahead of myself here. So you always want to go, even though this leg didn't come down, you always go to your lowest point. So if you have an irregular ABC like this, or I may be just looking at it wrong, but either way, you want to go to your lowest low before you start breaking down more. Yeah, I said that wrong. It's right here is where you go to. I did it wrong on the other ones too, I think, but it still ends up being the same. So you go right here, and then take this fib right here, put it right there, and guess where it gets to? It gets to your 1618. See it right here?
I do.
All right, so now what you want to do is you want to go into your RSI, and you want to see, okay, is this really the bottom, or do we have further down to go? Because remember, it can go all the way down, and then you have this price inefficiency right here. This is where you have to start looking at confluence. All right, so ever since the price busted up to 90-something cents, it has still not come down and filled this price inefficiency right here. You see it like I talked about earlier? Remember when I talked about that price inefficiency earlier?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had this wick right here. This is your range of where you want price to reach back to before it continues to go up, and that would fill this entire area. Going back to the coloring book analogy, that would fill this entire area, and then this structure would be complete, and price would be allowed. Not allowed. Price. The markets would know that all liquidity has been grabbed. Whether it's liquidity in shorting, like liquidity in liquidating longs, or liquidity in liquidating shorts. That's what I'm not talking about trading like hold traders. I'm talking about liquidity within longing and shorting.
Okay.
So up here you had a lot of people. Oh, we're going to the moon from right here. I was hoping it would, but once it started breaking down, I was like, there's got to be something telling us why it's breaking down, and it was right here. It was right here the whole time. So from the breakout, the price inefficiency was right here. So before the breakout happened, you have price, and I was telling how do you pronounce it? Shoab? I think it's Shoab, isn't that right?
I think so.
In Discord, so Shoab and I were having a discussion last week, and I told him, I said, man, I'm really concerned about this price level right here, and this price level right here. I think that's the right ones. I'm on the daily. No, I'm on the daily. I don't, because these prices right here came back and filled those gaps. No, here it is right here. I'm sorry. It's this, because see how this went up and then this price came down. It filled all these gaps back here. So here's a part of the book that didn't get colored right here where I'm at. So then you had this one right here that didn't get colored. See how it's a little trough? Anywhere there's a trough and the price never came back down to it, even though the price went up, that doesn't count. It has to be the price has got to come back down and fill these troughs right here. Meaning you can't pour water in a bucket upside down. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You follow me? So this price going up does not account for filling this price inefficiency. The price has got to come down. You can't fill a water bucket. You can't fill this bucket with water shooting up. It's got to come back down. And that's what this right here, this wick right here did, was you see it filled that price inefficiency. Well, then you turn around and look, and it almost made it all the way back down, and it almost filled this inefficiency right here, where this one little wick is. So now we're going to go over, and I'm going to give you my base case as to why I believe that XRP price. Why is it showing? Am I on BTC? Oh, I'm on BTC. Hold on a second. How the heck it got on there? That's why it's not looking right. All right, here we go. Now we're back on. Now we're on the USD chart. I'm sorry, y'all. So if you look right here, this was before. It's still the same principle. That was just looking at from the BTC chart. So see right here, when the price shot up, you had this that wasn't colored. Right here, you had this right here that wasn't colored. Okay, so see how your price came down and it colored that in. All this stuff got colored in. See how the price is down here and it colored all this in. Well, there's one more issue with this price chart right now. Where has price not made it to? See where I'm at right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be, now the price can come anywhere down from here to up to here. Notice up here how it went way below this wick and this support, and it came down. If you look to where it came down to, go back just a little ways, and you find your points of confluence, and it came back to this area right here where you were hitting your head, broke down, boom, broke out. Came down and you held that as support, so naturally the price wanted to come back down to this, and the reason why, because it had to fill this gap, or not, it had to fill this price inefficiency, and it had to fill this price inefficiency. So it knocked two of them out with one shot. However, it did not color in the coloring book right here. All right, so how would you find that price? Well, you just go back a little further, and you find out where was your biggest support at. So you see right here, you were hitting your head on it all through here. Then you found it as support. Then you hit your head on it, found it as support, got under it again, hit your head on it, broke through it. However, this price did not get filled right here. You see the trough?
Mm-hmm.
Trough goes up. You have, and the way you know it's a trough is because you had a huge move to the upside. That huge move to the upside, the price never, not one time. Now this doesn't count right here because it's still part of the trough. See the part of the trough right here. But that price, once it shot up, and you had that next parabolic move, even with your crashing structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you never did. And the price never did. Price never did go back down there and touch that right here. So you see how this price underneath went back and touched and filled that trough in there.
Yeah.
And filled that one in there. But this one never did get touched. So the area that I would be looking for, like if right now where I'm going to be looking to set my trades at for this setup, is only one is on one condition. We got to find out whether or not this was the true bottom. I said that a while ago and I kind of got sidetracked. So what was this right here, the true bottom at 41.66 or whatever it is? So you go to your RSI right here, and you were a little bit oversold. Not too terribly bad. It never did turn red. You see it never did turn red down there, but you were oversold right down in here. So now what you're looking for is that final capitulation drop. And you got to figure out where, I had that on there, sorry. You got to figure out where will that price, whether or not, if you go back and look, you have to figure out if this 1618 is going to give you confluence in that price hitting or not.
So would it be validated if that the RSI made a higher low then, like you were saying?
Yeah, so right now you know that you have not gotten the confirmation. Remember I showed you all the examples before. You have not gotten the confirmation yet. So with that being said, the next lowest low you have is up here or up here. So realistically it would be this, because this was part of this drop right here. So this right here is your next lowest low, and you can tell in the RSI that you don't have that divergence, because you see the RSI is still dropping. See it? Mm-hmm. So you have a higher RSI with a higher price, and you have your lower price, and the bottom fell out. So realistically, you have kind of like a trough in the RSI right here. So now what you're going to look for is, it's kind of interesting because now on the RSI, you want to, and of course you don't have a wick here to look at, but now what you want to do, what creates a bullish divergence is this. When you have what creates the bullish divergence is this. So obviously the price can come, you wonder, well, how can the price come down here to my target? So it's going to be above the 36.26 cent area, and it's going to be at least 38 right here at this high right here at 38.72. That's where you're going to fall in line, because 9 times out of 10, your breakdown structure will not go below the 2-5. It won't touch it. It usually stays in this range right here. I showed you all the examples before, but you have not reached your bullish divergence here yet. So now what you're looking for is your RSI to drop down a little bit lower to kind of touch inside of this trough. At the same time, you're looking for in the coming days or weeks, you're looking for, this right here to have a bottom drop out again, come down here and fill this price inefficiency I was telling you about, and then you want your RSI to just have, it doesn't have to be much, it just has to be a little bit of divergence.
So short, so just like that. Short XRP to 38 cents, and then right when it hits 38 cents, flip it to a long.
Well, theoretically, if I'm right, which I can't see, I've looked at all types of charts, and the breakdown structure is a breakdown structure. Only difference is once you start seeing what I'm telling you and you start understanding what I'm telling you, then you're that little kid that couldn't color inside the lines before. This was the ending analogy. You were the kid that was a toddler that couldn't color in the lines before, and you were making Charlie Brown's shirt orange and pink instead of black and yellow. And Snoopy was green and red instead of white and black. Then that kid progresses and he starts learning, okay, well, I'm going to learn how to color this book. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to learn how to color this book in the charting terminology.
Okay.
So once that kid starts learning how to color that book, well, guess what? It's a clear picture all of a sudden. Oh, wow, now I understand. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's the same epiphany I'm having with these charts, is that, hey, look, y'all are live. Y'all have this recorded. You can see, I'm not telling you that I know this for a fact. I'm just giving you the proof in what's in the chart. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
So if what I'm saying plays out, y'all will know about it, and you can look at it and say, damn, he was right. Or, hey, maybe I was wrong. I don't know. But I just know that every crashing structure ends with bullish divergence. And the reason why this chart right here, what will happen, what will create the bullish divergence is yes, you initially had this huge drop. So on your RSI, I'm going to paint it for you. On your RSI, if you watch it live on that daily chart, your RSI is going to drop way down here. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
However, what happens is your candle wick drops way down here, just like this one here. Your candle wick's going to drop way down here, but you're going to end up closing your candle body probably in the green. So that's what gives you, or it may be in the red, but it's going to be all the way back up here where this previous support is at the minimum. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, and this,
so where this
works on the best. It works best on long-term time frames. Is what you're saying? You're on the day, right?
No, you can break it down to a 10. So let's go. We're on the day here, so I'm gonna go to the 30 minutes, and I'm gonna show you what I'm saying. So right now, right here, let's find your crashing structure for 30 minutes. All right, so here we go. So here's your previous low right here. See, that's the crash. That right there, if you put that right side up, take this off. So if you were to flip this right side up, we'll switch it over to the 5 minute. That big wick right there is going to be a 5-wave wick to the bottom side. Now, if I can find that darn thing again, I should have moved that. All right, here we go. All right, so where was it? There's that wick. So see that wick right there? That right there is actually a 5-wave bullish, not bullish, it's bearish because it's going down. But this right here is actually the start of a new impulsive move down, okay? So that's your new point. That's your new point to say, okay, I had the big crash down. Look at your RSI. So your RSI is still not showing bullish divergence. So you know that even though you're going to have a corrective pattern up, you're eventually going to keep dropping. You follow me?
Yeah.
All right. So if you know you're going to continue to keep falling, now you can look over here and you can see you had some little bitty impulses up. You know, oh, everybody's getting bullish again. Oh, we're going to go up. Okay. Well, not so fast, because go back to where I told you where you started at, and you never did put any kind of bullish divergence in. Everything else kept going up, and your RSI kept going up. So now what you want to do is you want to take your fib, just like I did last time. You want to take your fib. That you got to find where your previous high was. So this is your previous high here, and then you go. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it right. It's harder to do it. You can do it, but you have to really pay attention to what you're doing when you get on these smaller time frames. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this dip right here and take it. Hold on, let me find out where I gotta put it at. I think you take it, put it right there. So now we want to go back down here, and we're going to see where this next crash went to. I did it in the wrong place. You got to bear with me here. It's a little harder when you get on the smaller time frames.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so here's one. Okay, so yeah, I was doing it the wrong place. So here's one with the bullish divergence right here. So you have a lower low. This is where you want to go back to. You have your lower low, and you see your RSI is in the bottom. See it? So then you have a lower low, and your RSI is up high. So now you know you just reset right there. Follow me?
Yeah.
So if you just reset right there, because the other one was not giving you the bullish divergence, so that's not where you can start it. So now you want to go from this one. You want to go back up to here, and then you want to come back, and you want to see. Oh, that's not it. I'm not doing it right there. Hold on, I gotta get myself back off for 5 minutes. I'm screwing myself up. Once you start playing around with it though, and you start seeing, let's see. Let me go back to the day real quick so I can get my bearings back straight, or maybe the hour. Myself all jacked up here. All right, so this is back on the hour right here. So you see you have your major impulsive move up. I was trying to go the wrong way with it because it's still in a crashing structure, so I can't even do what I was trying to do. You see what I'm saying? You got to go from up here. I'll go back here and show you another one. Here's one right here. So you see this is the impulse before the big one. So you see how you have your impulsive move up,
Mm-hmm.
and you got your low, your first lowest low right here. Take your fib. Take your fib. Put it right here. Go to your high. And yet again, look at where am I at? Look at where. So you see, all I did was I've got my one right here on that first lowest low, and then I got the top set at the very top of the previous impulsive move up. So then go back here and look and see where your bottom came in at. Just below 20. Follow me?
Yeah.
You there?
I'm here. It looks like you're losing
So
service.
that right
Hang
there,
on.
you could have called.
There you go.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Either way, so you know that you had a completed crashing structure right here, because this right here, if you go back to your RSI yet again, if you went back to your RSI, you'd have seen that you had bearish divergence. You see how low this is and how high the RSI is? You had that huge run up, your fifth and final wave, but your RSI high just barely met it. So it could have even gotten a little bit higher. It still would be bearish divergence, and the reason why is because you had such a huge price swing and very little happened on the RSI. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So then you set your fib. You set your fib right there, right? Right here on that first lowest low, and right here on your previous parabolic move up. And you come back down, and you would have known. All right, well, we're going to crash at least to the 1618 to the 4170. We could have called that. Now you don't know if it's going to go all the way back down and fill this gap right here. It could have come all the way back down and filled this gap. I mean, it's price inefficiency. See it right here? Mm-hmm. It never went back and touched that, and it should have. However, since it didn't touch that, you know later on that it's eventually going to touch that. Because I told you, I showed you it's eventually going to touch that price inefficiency because this never did. Had this came down and touched right there and just touched that wick right in the middle of that trough, then that would be complete. And this would have been your, that would have been your bottom. But since it didn't do it yet, be watching for, just like I said, be watching for, crap, I can't get it to pull up. So I done messed up something now. What'd I do? There we go. All right, so now what you're going to be watching for is you're going to be watching for that lower low that I told you about. Watching it live, the RSI is going to drop down lower like this, but when the price rebounds, it's going to bring your RSI back up, and it's going to stop right there. Okay. That's going to create your bullish divergence. And when you create your bullish divergence, just like this candle I put in here, this candle is going to come in here, and it's going to fill. I can't say for a fact, but, based on, I have that too low, based on what I'm showing you is proof on every time you look back at these parabolic moves up and you draw that same retracement, then you can come up with the same conclusion that every one of them falls in line between the 1618 and just above the 2.0 fib or the 2 fib. Okay. So with that being said, this right here should be between the 2 fib. Very top, look at the candle. Fucking see a candle yet. But there's a big candle right here.
Yeah, you're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Little candle right here. That little candle right here has got to be touched right here. See it?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't get touched now, like I was talking to Shoaib about it the other day, if that candle doesn't get touched now, and let's say price reverses from here and starts moving up, well, in the back of your mind as a leverage trader, you have to realize that yeah, price could go up as long as it doesn't breach that previous all-time high of like $3.30 or whatever it was, $3.20. That let's say price does go up here, then you have to be scared and realize that it's a very good possibility that this price is going to come back down here to where that price inefficiency was I was telling you about.
Okay.
So that's why you want that price. That's why you want before you want to get that bearish divergence and that last wick down low. You want to get that before price moves off again, because if you don't, this right here is an area of concern. Just like this right here was an area of concern until this happened. Once this happened, this no longer is an area of concern. Now this is. Make sense?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not guaranteeing you anything, but I'm telling you that based on the proof that I just showed you, I can take you to any chart. I can take you to the Bitcoin chart, regular Bitcoin chart, and I can show you the same types of confluence on Bitcoin as Ethereum or any of them. I can take you through any of them and show you the same thing. Well, I got crap all over this chart. But look, you can see where I'm sitting there pointing out these inefficiencies. Mm-hmm. So right now you got a bear flag. This is a bear pennant right here. It's very obvious that it's a bear pennant. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So your projected move is from here to here, off the pennant down to here. So that's not going to be the last drop. But this move right here, guess what it's going to do? It's going to fill this price inefficiency right here. All right. So then when you get that price inefficiency, you might move up a little bit, but you still got more back here. I kind of feel like that ShamWow TV salesman. But wait, there's more. Wait, there's more. So now price never did come down. Once it got past, it never did come back and fill this either. See it?
Yeah.
So you have to ask yourself, are you bullish? Now, I'm not saying long term or short term or medium term that it's not bullish. The market's in a bullish structure. However, early on in a bullish structure, there are deep, deep corrections that come back down and fill these price inefficiencies. Look, it's another watering trough. You got a watering trough, hadn't been filled. Got a watering trough, hadn't been filled, or a coloring book that hadn't been filled, Ever since any of these troughs were created, the water shot up and it never came back down. So then you had this watering trough here, price came down still, or you had this little trough right here, price came down and it filled that one, but then it kept going up. So then you created another trough right here. Well, price went up. Guess what? It came down, filled this one, filled this one. But you still got these lower price levels, and you'll crap your britches when I tell you what the price is. But you're talking about a $17,000 Bitcoin down here. Anywhere from a 16, almost back to the low. Remember the low?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so you're talking about a big time low down here, but this is the chop everybody talks about. Everybody's always talking about the chop. Me too. It's like, damn, it's so frustrating because it chops. It goes down, it goes up. There's no real obvious price structure to it. See? The reason why there's not price structure to it is because it's early in a bullish cycle. Early bullish cycles, or you can reverse it, and if it's a bearish cycle, early in the bearish cycle, we'll go back here to the bear cycle. So you had your November higher high right here. See it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then you come down. Well, as price comes down, it starts creating these troughs in the bearish cycle. So now you got troughs that ain't got filled. This one right here got filled by this price, but then you have these, they come down. Well, guess what? The price wants to come back up and fill these troughs because that's for liquidity. But when you get up here, look at these. These haven't been touched yet. You see what I'm saying? These have not been touched yet. So the price is going to want to go back up there, but before it can go up there, it's got to come down here and set a bottom, which is what it did. It set a bottom all the way down through here. It set your bottom. And the way you can tell that it set your bottom is let's go to your RSI. So let's find your bottom right here. And here it is. So here was your false bottom. So your RSI is in the bottom in the floor. And then you come up here and these don't count because they're higher highs anyway. But then you go to your next bottom and look what it did on your RSI. Look what it did on your RSI right here for your lowest low. You go down here to your RSI, you had a higher RSI low and a lower price, and then a lower low and a higher low with you see what I'm saying, with a lower RSI. But then you can even take that divergence and you can go back further and say back here, like, damn, this right here was a false bottom, and you would have known it was a false bottom if you'd have looked back here at your RSI and you were steadily printing lower lows until price reversed. Getting higher highs on the RSI with higher prices don't mean crap. Getting higher prices on RSI with lower prices is where you confirm your bottom. You follow me?
Yeah. So you're thinking
so
BTC
bottom,
still has to come down there?
It doesn't have to come back down here. However, it wants to. And that's obvious by what the structure's doing right now. So can you imagine what everybody's going to be, all the bears are going to be saying? Yeah, we're back. Get down here to a 17 gate, or even get down here to a 20K BTC. Oh, it's going to 3,000. It's going to 12,000. It's going to 9,000. That's all we're going to hear throughout this whole process. But anybody listening to this call, and I end up being right, are going to say, well, I be ding dang dong. He actually saw it. But what this is what you call, this is market structure. It's not chop. What this is what you consider a leading diagonal 5-wave structure. So you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blow off top. Doesn't look like a blow off top, but that's what you consider an Elliott wave leading diagonal. Remember I kept telling y'all like I was trying to figure this out?
Yeah.
Well, I finally after applying it and, you know, losing $5 here and $5 there, because I kept just putting small trades in, like, you know, all right, this is what I think it's going to do. I got tired of thinking of what it was going to do, and I was like, I'm going to figure it out. Well, I did. Got a 1, 2, 3, 4. Each one of these bigger dips gives you where your previous wave 1 was. I mean, like, say, you know, this was a bottom, so you had a wave 1 because you had your bullish divergence down here. So naturally, you should have a wave 1. Well, here's your wave 1. You had a big drop, that's a correction. You had a wave 3. The wave 3 is compiled of 2 tops, but it's still a wave 3. You had a correction, but you notice that correction didn't come back down in here to this price 1 territory. Then you had your next, you know, impulsive move up, and that's it. That was it right there. And they go back down here, your RSI, and you would have been able to tell this was it because you had higher high on your RSI, lower high on your RSI with the same price. See it? So that right there marked your top for Bitcoin for local top. Now you know once you recognize on the daily where that top comes in. Now guess what? Now you got to come back down here and look back to behind you. So I'm the one telling you the end. I'm going to tell it. This is a phrase out of the Bible. Actually, I think it's Isaiah, like chapter 45:10 or 46:18. But either way, God says, I'm the one telling you the end from the beginning. Well, Mr. Andy Walk or Mr. Snowman, whatever you want to call me, is telling you the end of this from the beginning. So from the beginning back here, you know you got to feel this, and you know you got to feel that. So the next price action you're going to have is you're going to have down, 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 down. Make sense?
Yeah.
And no, that wasn't a reference. I wasn't referencing myself as God. I was just using a scripture out of the Bible. I like that scripture. So anyway, I thought it was pretty interesting.
Awesome. Awesome, man.
I got one more thing to tell you, and I'm done.
Okay.
So far, has any of it made sense?
Oh yeah, I've learned quite a bit.
All right, so now I'm going to show you a tool that I use when I go to find. We're going to go back on the XRP really quick. And if y'all have any questions about this later, because I mean I'll answer whatever, but it takes a while to figure it out. But once you start figuring it out, it makes complete sense, and you're like that toddler going from a toddler trying to color a coloring book to somebody that actually feels that you have confidence and like, oh wait, this all makes sense now. You see what I mean?
Yeah. And for you guys who are watching right now, Mr. Andy Walk is in the Discord channel, and that link is below in the description. So if you want to, you know, if you have questions or anything like that, you're able to hop on the Discord channel and drop some questions there.
All right, so absolutely, I'll answer any questions. I mean, I don't know it all. I'm still learning. I've learned more from y'all than y'all have ever learned from me. So I got to pay back. That's what I'm trying to do now is pay back. So this is your next thing. This right here is the MXC chart. Let me go to the other one so I can show you what I'm talking about. This is a very important tool that I have never seen anybody use. All right, so you see all these lines that I have on this?
Yeah.
These are actually channels. These are, you know, they're just parallel channels that you can use. I'm sure y'all used them before, but you can literally find wicks by doing what I'm about to show you. Now, just using this parallel channel alone is not going to do it. I'm just showing you this for reference. So, yeah, I mean, my mind is like going a million miles and nothing. You can see all this crap I have on here. Anyway, so these channels will help you, but you have to know how to use them first. So what you do is you go over here, go back to my XRP MXC perpetual futures where I don't have anything on there. So how do I find where those lines go? Well, number one, you got to find where your main pattern is. So right now, this, you know, you can't see it, but there was a big flag back here, you know, from back 2017 where all this price came up, you know.
Yeah.
And then came back down. It went up $3 and came back down, and it started making this pattern here. So this right here is literally, as of now, showing to be a bull pennant. Oh, did I lose you?
No, I'm here.
Okay. So this is showing to be a bull pennant right here. So go over here to your trend angle, and if you want to find out if you're actually doing a pennant or a bear flag or a bull flag or anything else the correct way, come over here and take a. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So come over here and take this trend angle line, and you see down here on the bottom where it gives you the little number.
Yeah.
So come over here, and you don't want to. Everybody just wants to connect it right here. That's just the main thing. Like people, oh, there's the bottom. Okay, well that's not necessarily the right thing to do. Once we have more price data, come over here and connect it right here to this bottom of this where we're at now, where that wick was for XRP. So you see, you have a 16-degree trend angle right here. All right, so 16-degree trend angle. So if this trend is correct, if your trend is correct, your top angle should be a 16-degree as well. Follow me?
Yeah.
So if you come down and you set it and you have a 23-degree, 27-degree, that's not right. If you have a 21-degree, it's not right. Come up here and you want to be at least within a degree or two. 9 times out of 10, you're going to be dead even on 16 degrees. I mean the same. So I could have done the top one first, but that's pretty close. See where I've got it?
Yeah.
So I could come down a little bit more and put it over the top, but you don't want to do that. So you want to take it and put it right there. Well, I did. I actually did it anyway. Have you ever used these before?
No, I have not.
Okay, so this is the problem with it. So what happens? See how I'm moving my chart like this?
Yeah.
And it starts moving. It starts moving your trend. So you don't want to move your chart once you start doing this. So
does that happen? Are you on log?
Yes, everything I'm doing, you need to be on log for it to work. So if you're not on log, it'll still work, but it's harder to get these trends. The trend line will not fit right on standard scale. You've got to be on log.
Okay.
So it has something to do. It has something to do with the way the digital assets do. Don't ask me how, but log just works better. So right now, the top one is dead on. It's at 13 degrees. So now what I'm going to do is put this one at 13 degrees, just like that. Now I have an accurate. Oh shit! I did it again. Now I said crap. I said a cuss word. Sorry.
That's fine. I say them all the time.
So now what you'd want to do is since you know that your degree is right on this bull pennant or whatever it would be, a bear pennant or whatever, but this is a bull pennant. So now that you have your trend set right on it, and you know both of your angles are at the right degree, then what you can do is you can come in here and go to your regression channel, your parallel channel, and you can draw it over the top of it. The reason why I use parallel channels, I'll show you in a second. So draw it over the top of it, and that way you know you have the right degree angle, right? In theory, you should have the right degree angle. Click it right there. I don't want to move it yet. And then you want to come in here and you want to get rid of that line right there.
Okay.
And then that way, see, now when you move your regression channel, but you can do a regular channel as well. So then what you want to do is you want to come up here and do the same thing with this one. Put you a parallel channel right over the top. I shouldn't have moved it first, but it doesn't really matter. It's the same difference. Come over here, line it up. Well, sorry, I don't know. All right, so line it up, set it. All right, now move it. Get this stupid line out of the way. Now your channel is set, and now you can move your chart. See?
Oh yeah, that's
And
pretty
then
cool.
then what you want to do is now that you know that this angle is set right, you know that this wick down here is below where your main trend line is. Well, it's not even right now. It's still not right because I can see it's off down here. But you can move, once you get the angle set right, you can move this right here and then come through here and you can set this back on where it's supposed to go. See, now I have it right where it's supposed to go.
Okay.
So then what you want to do is you want to take this parallel channel, and then you can start finding oh shoot, I moved it again. Either way, whatever. I didn't mean to move like that. Then what you can do, once you get that one set, you can move this top channel part, and you can start seeing where your confluence is. And the confluence is where your candles have the most reaction. So if you look right here, does it look like I have that set right? You're talking about candle body closes. So if you go over here and you look, you see this green candle, it reacted to it right here. Then you had a hit off here, this wick. That's probably not necessarily exactly right. But then here you have another green candle that hits it, bounces, hits it. Or let's see, where do I have any red candles? Any closes? There's a wick to it. That may not be exactly right. It's a lot better when you can get when you can get candle body closes on it. But either way, you can start finding where your wicks can go to, not just based off this channel, but you see where your price action reacts inside of this channel. But then on top of that, see, I had this one set, but I moved it for this call so that I could show you. I had this one set right there. Of course, this was after the fact that this hit, but I was trying to figure out how could I have called this wick right here. So if you had taken, now you can see where the reaction is more. So you see you have all these candles reacting to this upper channel right here.
Yeah.
Even though some wicks inside, you have a lot more touches all up through here. And then you have some candle body closes right here. You have candle body close right here, another reaction right here. Well, if you can find these kind of channels in here, then you can start figuring out where some of these wicks go to. But not just using this. Go back to where I was telling you about that coloring book. You had to color in here, you had to color in here, and we still got to color in right here. So if we got to color in right here, based on the time frame where we're at, that price would put your wick. If I'm right, now this is on the weekly, remember this is on the weekly, but if I end up being right, that's going to put your wick. Now look over here at where your support is, or your resistance. See your resistance, your support right here, your resistance right here, your support right here, there's resistance support. So this right here is major support and resistance. And your wick very well, in order to fill this inefficiency, your wick more than likely is going to end up coming down on the top of this trend line. It may go a little further below, but it should not be below these candles right here. It should not be below those. It should be within this channel, maybe just a touch below. But more than likely, it's going to be where all this confluence is, where you have all this support and resistance over here. And if you notice where that support and resistance, it falls in line right here with this inefficiency, this price inefficiency right here. So you're going to be looking in this area from the midline of this this parallel channel to the bottom line. So you're looking at anywhere from, say, 39, 37. And this isn't perfect. I'd have to go back through, but this is just based on this quick thing I did. But anywhere in this area from the middle of this down to the bottom, and that will fill this inefficiency right here. And the last part of confluence is going to give you that what I was telling you about earlier. It's going to give you that bullish divergence to tell you, okay, the bottom's in.
So what do you plan on doing with this? Do you plan on just spot buying when it drops down, or are you going to try some leverage trading?
No, I'm still doing my leverage trading, but so last night I went through, I can't remember exactly where, I was on the 10 or the 15-minute chart. Let me see if I can remember where I put it in at. I was on the 10 or 15-minute chart. Cindy and I were at the house. We'd been out there at the flea market in Cape Girardeau all day on Saturday, and we got back to the house like 5 or something. I try not to look at the charts when I'm with her.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got back, I pulled up the chart, and I was looking at it, trying to figure out a place that I could get an entry in. And so this has been last night. I don't know what the time frame is on this, but anyway, I got my trade in somewhere down in here. I was using the so here's the 10-minute right here. So what I was using was that same method I told you about, the using the fib retracement and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I used this right here, and I went in, and you hit the 1618. I can't remember what time this was. This is Sunday. This ain't it. It had to have been back here. But either way, we'll just go to this right here. So this, maybe it was back here. I put the trade in. Anyway, I put in $20 in a trade on a 20x leverage, and that $20 netted me $120 when it got up here. I put my take profit all the way up here. Now it ended up going up higher. It ended up going up higher up to here, but that was a big butt move. Excuse my French, because it was back in this area. It may have been in this flag right here, because I knew, based on what I was telling you, I knew. So what happens is you get these. I got to show you. I'm trying to hurry up. So this was obviously your bottom. You had bullish divergence down here. So you knew this was your bottom, so your next move was going to be an impulse. So where you find your wave one is you'll have an impulse up. This is a 5-wave impulse up right back here. So it's a 5-wave impulse up. You come back down, and when this low holds above this low, you know that's your wave 1 in a leading diagonal.
Okay.
So then with your wave 1, so now you have your wave 2. So this is wave 1, this is wave 2. You have chop. But remember, I told you the chop is not scary when you can figure out what the heck it's chopping for. Well, the reason why it's chopping is look at your EMAs. Your EMAs are still trying to catch up with price. So it has to chop to let the price catch up. As soon as you get the break where your EMAs that are all down here at the bottom, as soon as you get the break and you start seeing your prices staying above and these EMAs converging, look right here. This is your entry point right here. See this candle right here, how your EMAs are see how these wicks are coming down? They're staying below the EMAs. Then right here, it barely pierces below, but this wick right here stays above this EMA. This area is your entry point right here. Now, I wouldn't say do 100x leverage on this, but like you can do 20x leverage, and you can set your stop loss really tight because you're actually forming a that's not a bull fight, but you formed a bottom right here, and you look at your RSI, and your RSI is showing you that you're staying above your whatever that yellow line. What is that? The 20 minutes. I can't remember. What is it?
The 20-day EMA.
Well, but not on the 10-minute chart. It's the 10-minute EMA. So, but once you see that you're staying above that and your price is getting higher, well, then this right here, this would have been your confirmation candle that you're getting ready to cross up and go bullish. And the reason why is because this low held. See that low? That low held and you continue going up. So that means that you just marked, like I said, this low held, this low right here. So this marks an impulse that you were getting ready to do, an impulsive move up. Wave 1, wave 2 correction, accumulation. Then, so since you completed wave 2, accumulation, now you have your first wave within the third wave. I don't know if that makes sense, but so what you did was you had this right here so that was your wave 1, wave 2 correction, accumulation, wave 1 within wave 3 with a little correction, and then waves 4 and 5. Okay, so now you have wave 3 completed right here. Follow me? So you got wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 completed. So now, anytime you complete a impulse of 5-wave up, even with inside of a larger wave, you're going to have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correction. See it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correction. So literally, you took this move and inversed it and went in for a correction. So this right here, if you put your fib on it, I don't know if I'm doing that right or not. Yeah, I did it right. This is what I was trying to do while ago on the 5-minute. I got myself all jacked up. So look at where, once you had this, remember I told you this is an impulse up. Now you're going to have an impulse down. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look where it hit, and pierced below the 1618. See it?
Yeah, and that's where the RSI had that divergence, right?
Exactly.
And look
now you're picking up.
Look what's happening right now at the end. It looks like it's having another divergence, like right now.
Okay, so exactly. So that means. What that means is we're going deeper inside of waves, but I just counted out wave 1. Sorry, I just counted out wave 1 for you. I gave you that answer. I counted out wave 2 correction. I counted out wave 3, which you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's harder to see, but it's in there. Because see that little correction right there? That's your 1, 2 correction, 3. See this right here? This is a bull flag type deal. On a smaller time frame, it would be a bull flag. That's your 3. I'm sorry, there's your 3 right there. I'm sorry, there's your 3 right there. Correction, wave 5, impulse. Impulse is done right there. Look at your bearish divergence on your RSI. So now you know that this move is over with. So now you know you're going to be in an impulsive 5-wave to the downside. All right. So with an impulsive wave to the downside, you're looking for that. What I told you, that minimum 1618. And I showed you a while ago. You have the minimum 1618. So now you're waiting on your last impulse of wave 5 move. So as long as this holds, as long as this bottom holds, what you're doing right now is you're creating a 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5, real quick. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once that move is over with, I'm telling you, whenever this happens, you're gonna be like, "Holy crap, Andy unlocked the matrix." I'm telling you, I unlocked the matrix by figuring this out. So there's your 1. Now this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 within your wave 3. Remember that. 2. Oh, sorry, I did that wrong. Hold on, I gotta fix this. I jacked that up. 3 is down here. 4 is down here, and your 5. So that impulse is over, and you know that impulse is over because, like you pointed out, your RSI told you it's over. Now, this is a 10-minute time frame, so we're really getting down to the nitty gritty. So then again, this is all jacked up. I know it doesn't make any sense, but hopefully y'all can see what I'm saying. So now, I know y'all got stuff to do. I'm telling y'all, this information right here is going to be unreal for traders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With, guess what? Oops. With bullish divergence.
Yep.
So you see your lower. Okay, so now you know this impulsive move is over with. So now what we should be working on, and I'm gonna paint this picture, and if it works out, then everybody can be like, "Holy crap, it worked out." So now what you're looking for is you're looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I don't know exactly where this is gonna go, but what you can do, there's a way to figure that out, but that's for another phone call. But 9 times out of 10, your wave 5 is going to end up. Your wave 5 is going to end up back somewhere in this area, repainting or recoloring in where this didn't get colored in. Remember, now the water is shooting down, and the coloring book didn't get colored up here. See, it didn't get colored, so now your price is naturally wanting to come back and color in these prices didn't get colored in.
Right.
Makes sense?
Yeah, and it looks like we actually are having a bullish divergence right now too.
Yes, exactly. Which means price is going to get. So then, what you have to start looking for is on the bigger scale. So this would be a completed impulsive structure up, and the reason why I say completed impulsive structure up is right here.
So short-term long XRP. After that, short it.
Now, so right here, you're looking at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because remember, inside of this structure, you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's inside of wave 3. Then you have your 5-wave impulse down, which is your corrective structure. Now you have your divergences down here, and now you're looking for your next impulse, and you got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Literally, I swear to you, I think I unlocked the matrix by doing this.
I sure hope so, man.
But then you have to wonder, well, why? You have to wonder what makes it do this. Well, go back to your daily time frame, and going back to me telling you about everything having to be painted. Well, look back here. Remember when price went all the way up here? You have these prices back here that got painted with this huge so-called crash. Everybody is like, "Oh, it's a huge crash." That's actually just an impulsive wave 1 up. So wave 2 correction. The wave 3 up is in here somewhere. You just have to find it on the smaller time frame. There's a wave 3 in there somewhere with a correction and a wave 5 impulses up. So why all these waves 5s up and 5 down? Well, because the whole time, all these troughs that didn't get filled on the way up have to get filled on the way down. So these, see how the price up here after the price in 2021 went up to $2? Well, notice how it only came down to the 1618. Well, you still had all these price inefficiencies down here that didn't get filled. Well, guess what happened? Once this 5-wave structure was over with, you had an impulse to fill these. Then you had a 5-wave structure to fill these. You had ABC and another 5-wave impulse down to fill any more. So all these gaps up here are all the way full on the back side. Your front side over here have not filled yet, but guess what? Before these can fill, the price wants to come down and fill all these back here. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that right there, all this painting or all these coloring the coloring book, eventually, that's what creates a bull pennant. The more it gets colored in, when it breaks, all this is filled in. It doesn't have to come back to it again. It doesn't have to. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's what creates a bull pennant is that coloring book effect that I was just telling you about. So once all that's filled in, and you'll know a bull pennant or a bull flag, 9 times out of 10 will only go 50 to 75% of what the entire flag is. Okay. So I know my degree is right up here. Remember, I have my 13 degree and 13 degree.
Yeah.
So if you measure this out from not from the where it enters, well, actually, it first touches up here. So you measure it out from your top of your bull pennant and measure it to the end of it, and you're talking about just say 1,300 days. So what's 3/4 of 1,300? Hold on. Calculator, 1,300 divided by 4. Did I say it right? Is it 1,300? Yeah, I'm rounding it up. 1,300 divided by 4. That gives you 325 times 3. So 975 days. This thing should break out within 975 days. There. Can you still hear me?
Yeah. So like over 2 years.
Boy, you got to remember, this is all the way from back here at the top in 2021.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Okay, so now that your bull pennant has started, you should not exceed 75% of this bull pennant. So that means that 975 days. So by December, now it doesn't mean it has to take. It usually goes 50% of the flag to 75%. So 50% of it is 650 days. So we know it didn't break out at 650 days because it's still inside of it right here. See? But that means that from this point here, where I'm at, 650 days to 900 and whatever it was I said, 975 days, somewhere in this range, this price should break out of this. Now, there's no guarantee that it's going to break up. But however, if you look at the structure, the structure is showing bullish momentum. You follow me?
Yeah.
So it's showing bullish momentum, and you can go back to the Bitstamp chart where I got more information on there. We'll go to the weekly so you can see the full picture. So here's your weekly right here. So this is where you're going to crap your britches. Based on this flag, I need to clear all this crap off because I can't see anything. Based on this flag, this is the last thing I'm saying, then I'm done. I don't want to take that off. Based on this flag right here, you have it now. This doesn't mean it's going to happen this December. I'm telling y'all that I'm still telling you that I think it's $90 minimum on XRP when this breakout happens and the 5-wave impulse that comes off from this full move, because you're going to have a 5-wave impulse that moves off of this. That 5-wave impulse is going to get to a minimum of $90. But that's my opinion based off what the fibs say. But if you take your flagpole, all right, you can see I had that measured just about right?
Yeah.
See that? So if you take that flagpole and you move it, you're going to crap your britches. You move that thing up to here. Let's just move it down here a little bit just to be conservative. That's way down at the end of the apex. So if you take that, guess where your price goes to once before this impulse. So you got to keep in mind, that's taking in consideration this whole impulsive move up. This is a 5-wave impulse up. So if that plays true before this next impulsive wave is completed, $1,000 XRP.
That'd be
I know
insane.
I just probably lost that. I know I probably lost everybody there, but I don't make the rules up. Well, I take that back. It could break. It doesn't have to break out from the top of that channel. It could break out right here at the bottom of it. You know, I mean, like it doesn't. So either way, you're looking at about a $600 to $1,000 XRP once Now, I'm not saying December this year, guys. I'm not saying December. You understand that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that once this next move, this move from here to here, that's your projected move right here from here to here. Once this next move breaks out of this channel, that's your projected price range. Now, I don't know what the news is going to be behind it. I don't know if they're going to burn tokens. I don't know how it's going to get there, and I don't really care. I just know that based on whatever chart you look at, you have projected move endings that are given by flagpoles and different variations. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So based on that information and what this chart's looking at, now the downside to it is I don't know how it could break down that much, but if it did, I mean, dear God, God help us all because we're like negative money then. So, we're setting all new all-time lows down here. You're talking about 0.003 of a penny down here. So, like, if that happens, y'all won't ever hear my voice again. I'll just give up.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done talking now. Hopefully I didn't ruin it. Hopefully I gave some good information.
Oh, dude, it was awesome. It was awesome. Everyone's loving
But
it
for
in the chats.
for leverage traders, what I just showed y'all, now, I can tweak it and show more in the Discord later and put charts if y'all want me to and, give you more examples. But I just used XRP because it was an easier chart. But based on the price, the fibs that I showed you and where you place them and stuff like that. Now, you have to remember, I was showing you how to use them for the downside, right? Remember I showed you how to use them for the downside?
Yeah.
So if you go back, I didn't show you this. I got to show it after this. But if you go back to that chart that doesn't have crap all over it, somebody's going to laugh and be like, man, this fool got crap all over his chart. Let's see here. So we'll see. We'll say this right here is your wave one right here. This is your first impulse, okay? So if we use that and we put a fib on that, now you remember I was going upside down with the fibs, remember? So with this one, you want to go to the top and that low right there, which is the bottom of your wave two correction. Now you want to go to your 1618 and it's going to give you your projection. Oh, that didn't work. I did it on the wrong one. Because it did give you the 1618. That's the wrong one. I'll have to go through and put it on Discord how to do it, but it's hard because my mind is, I'm doing it for the downside.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to flip everything around when you do it for the downside. You have to flip everything around. Oh, it's because I'm on the weekly chart. No wonder. I was like, what the heck am I doing wrong? So right here, we'll go right over here and see if it works right here. So you had your wave, you had your bottom set. That's your. See, it's so hard to. Let me invert it real quick. All right, here we go. Now it should be a little easier. Oh shoot! I just took it off my watch list. Go to your fib. So I've got the price chart inverted right now. So you had your parabolic move up, and then you had this. Oh shoot! I can't remember which one I did it from. It's a little harder when I'm on the fly. I got folks listening to me and watching me. That's not the right one. Oh, I see where I did it wrong. So you go to this one up here, and you set it on that one right there. That's your lowest low. Now let me see if I invert it, see if it fixes it. Well, that one, maybe it doesn't work the same for the impulsive moves up. I know for the impulse, well, it's still, no, it went above the 2 fib. You see it right there, it went above the 2 fib.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I've got to figure out what the method to the madness is on the impulsive moves up. But every one of the accounts that I showed you for the bearish moves, you could see they consistently say they all hit the 1618 and go below it, but they don't go beyond the second wave. I mean the 2 fib. I'm done.
I'm done. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, that was a lot of good info right there. So I'm definitely going to try to use that bullish divergence in the Elliott wave counts. I know you're better at Elliott wave counts than I am.
Well, you find the bull div or the bear div, either one of the two. You find that, and you find the bottom or you find the top.
Yeah.
So once you find that bottom or you find the top, then you wait for the price to correct and then bounce. And then once it corrects and bounces, that's where you take your fib from that first bounce up to that either highest point or lowest point, and then or doing it on the bearish side, you take it from that first dip down before it starts correcting back up and pull that dip back up to where that Pico top was, and then go back down and find where your 1618 is, and you should be on the safe side of shorting from that point all the way down to that 1618.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then I'll find out. I'm gonna do some more digging, and I mean all this stuff. I like I said, nobody's telling me this. I'm just looking at the charts and trying to figure out on my own.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing the confluence on it. So now I got to turn around and figure out how do I apply that same method that I'm doing for the bearish to the bullish for the impulses, because I'm trying to find us the points, the entry points and the exit points, so that we get in at the bottom and we get out at the tops of those Pico tops. Not Pico tops, but local tops.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That make all the money. There we go.
I'm gonna end up dead. Is all I can tell you.
Good thing.
If I figured the Matrix out, I'm telling you, if I end up dead, y'all know why.
Hey, at least we got this recorded so we can go back and watch it, right?
They might kill all of us.
Yeah, who knows? But okay, man, I appreciate you having on the live stream. We should definitely do it again sometime.
Yeah, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. Drive safe back.
All right. I'll see y'all.
Talk to you later. Bye.